Have you been with a virgin?
I have, yeah.
How did you feel about the lack of inexperience?
The lack of inexperience.
Lack of experience.
Lack of experience.
What? I mean, I don't really care about a girl's sexual experience.
Yeah, guys don't care about that.
And here's the other thing when it comes to experience. Most women, whether they're friends or not, look to men to initiate and to lead. So if you're a guy who has even some level of experience and you know what you're doing, whether that's within the context of a relationship or sexually in the bedroom, if you know what you're doing, you can have really good sex with a girl who's a virgin, who's never had sex before. A woman need not have ever had sex for me to have good sex with her. However, for most women, they're going to look at a guy who's a virgin and be like, he's going to be bad in bed. Most women, now there are some women who are more dominant, for example, who are okay with leading, but most women are going to be turned off by a guy who they have to teach how to f them. Whereas most guys, it would actually be a turn on. It's a turn on to like teach a girl.
I also believe that women need the time to, how do I put this? A man really seems to get into a woman fully releasing, and women who lack experience don't really know how to do that quite yet.
Well, I mean, I don't think you're wrong insofar as a woman who's inexperienced perhaps might be nervous or might be a bit in her head. However, I don't think that's a given. I don't think that's necessarily a given. And I would actually argue that women who have less experience, who have had fewer sexual partners, are actually more capable of being fully immersed in the experience. Whereas women who have had 100, women who have had 100 previous partners, it's like, okay, here again, it's gone. It's not exciting anymore. Like,
what's a high body count? I'm genuinely
I mean, it
curious.
varies based on age. So, someone who's in their 30s, it's perhaps you give a bit more leeway. But I mean, I think honestly, anything. Okay, as far as the statistics show, I think it's anything over 6 is like really bad for long-term commitment.
I agree completely.
Do you have sources for what you're saying? Like, is it a statistics?
Yeah, they've done.
Do you have sources for what you're saying?
What am I saying?
You're just saying that it doesn't matter.
What it doesn't matter.
The body count.
I love the point you made, though, because
he's saying something very precise. Sorry, something very specific.
Mm-hmm.
A person that has gone with more than 6 people has very low chance to get a long relationship.
That's not exactly what I said.
Your
but
soul ties with people.
Marital
you create,
satisfaction.
Like soul ties with people when you have sex with them, like emotional, hormonal connections with people.
She's
the more
right.
people you have sex with, the less and
bonding.
less
Yep.
like
But where
your
are the
body
studies
is like.
that testify that?
I believe it.
They have done studies on this. I mean, and they've also asked people. They've asked people who are divorced, for example. What's that?
Who is the scholar that conducted those studies?
Yeah, I don't.
Well, we can pull up the infographic.
Maybe I'm
Eric,
just
if
an
you can pull
odd.
up
Maybe
the-
there's just like a bunch of people that don't.
Well,
fit
I'll
that
tell you.
study as
I'll tell you
statistic,
one of the most popular. Sorry.
No, I agree. Yeah.
David Bass, Steven Pinker.
Sure. What is it?
Those are evolutionary psychologists that are often mentioned by the pickup artists, pickup artists. Let's say pickup artists.
It's actually the other guys, the red pill.
Yeah,
It's the red pill. We're
well,
not
actually,
We're not pickup artists.
What they say is that promiscuity, because that's what we are talking about, changes. And again, these scholars, when you actually read the scholars and you don't read, Rollo Tomassi and company, when you actually read the scholars, they are very careful at saying that our studies, my study, has limitations. And we are offering a model that explains the majority of the situation, but not all of them. So they show the macrocosm, but the single individuals may definitely behave in a different way. So for what concerns promiscuity, they said that women are actually, they behave very differently during their life. So in a range of time between 18, 19, 20 until 27, they are 27 and 26. There is not a specific age, but basically they are more promiscuous. They tend to be more promiscuous on a general term. After the age, they change, sometimes even drastically, their behavior. So what I mean is that if a girl is 26 years old and she has been with 30 guys, there is the possibility, and it's actually the studies. These are scientific studies.
What does the study say? What does it say?
They say that basically there is a range of age around 30 years old where women have a lower libido, so less desire to have sex, and they want to settle and have longer relationships. So also their body count doesn't raise as before. So in level of promiscuity is not stable like men, because the desire for men is stable, and also the body counts tend to get up.
What you just said does nothing to disprove the fact that people who have the more premarital sexual partners you have, the greater likelihood of infidelity. The greater likelihood of infidelity, the greater likelihood of divorce, the greater likelihood of reporting relationship dissatisfaction. Can you stop interrupting? The greater likelihood of reporting relationship dissatisfaction, and the greater likelihood of STD.
Yeah, but that's the same for. So what I'm saying is that is okay. That's the same for men, though.
It's
a
different,
problem.
Actually.
How is it different?
The men's pair bonding can be impacted, and it is also the case for men, but I believe what the studies show is that this impact of having more premarital sexual partners is actually more pronounced in women.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No, because men wants to. Sorry, but what studies did you read? I'm telling you.
Just listen. There's multiple studies
Eric, can you
by multiple people
infographics folder
stating that the more sexual partners a woman has, she has higher instances of anxiety, higher instances of depression, higher instances of relationship unsatisfaction, as well as marriage and divorce as well. And it's common sense. Like I don't know why everybody's trying to pretend like being a hoe is okay. Like the average guy doesn't sit down and be like, yeah, I really want a girl, who's been ran through.
There's a CDC study. It's called Sex Partners CDC, and then the preceding. There's 4, it's alphabetical order, so there's 4 other ones after that. Actually, sorry, there's 5 other ones after that. It's divorce, less stable marriage satisfaction, promiscuity, and STI. So you can pull all those up.
Laura, what you were saying about how women's promiscuity is different over time as they age.
Sorry, repeat.
Is this unfair? I feel like the mute a microphone thing is unfair. I don't know.
Okay, well,
go on. It's no problem.
What you were saying about how women's levels of promiscuity change as they age, going through their 20s and then their 30s.
I don't say that it's for all.
If that's the case.
I'm sorry, bro. She stole the mic.
If that's the case, if anything, I would see that as an argument, if true, for women in their 20s being in a monogamous relationship marriage, when their sex drive is at the highest and their fertility is at the highest.
That's not what the studies show. They actually show that they're pretty horny.
No, you're actually wrong.
Yeah.
The women's libido goes
it's
up.
Bus. I can give you even the page.
No, women's libido typically goes up as they get older because their estrogen goes down, their testosterone goes up.
Yep.
Here, let's do this. We're gonna pull up.
No, I'm talking about women, not men.
I'm sorry, bad ZXC. She stole the mic. I can't do anything.
I
can't do anything.
Highest in your 20s, then there's a dip, and then it goes
no more
higher
mute a
once
microphone,
you're
please,
getting
guys.
closer
No
to
more mute a
menopause.
microphone.
Yeah.
As they women, as they get
Happens
older.
to some women that they get menopause and then they get
right before menopause.
horny, then
yes.
they can't even deal with in their 60s.
I feel like it's
50s.
not fair, Here, let's pull up the studies. Eric, can you pull them up, please? All right, so this is from the CDC.
Graphs.
And Eric, can you zoom in so we can see the top ones? So women who have more non-marital sexual partners are more likely to be infected with sexually transmitted diseases. As you see, the lower your non-marital sexual partner count, it increases. The more 21 plus, it's up there 41%. Or scroll up a bit, Eric.
That's if you don't have safe sex, though, because you can easily wear a condom.
Yeah.
Condoms don't prevent you from getting STDs necessarily. The next one says women who have more non-marital sexual partners are less likely to have stable marriages. So let's see. And the source is the CDC. Scroll down. Women who have more non-marital sexual partners are less likely to be
You
happy.
can say that.
I would never.
You can say that then.
Women who have more non-marital
Wait,
sexual
what?
partners
What?
are more
Non-
likely to be depressed.
marital
That's one. Go to the next one, Eric.
Oh my god.
Chance of divorce after 5 years of marriage, and the first one is 0 partner, and then it peaks, goes up to. It's interesting how it kind of dips. So this particular data set might not be the most reliable, and they don't cite anything, but there's well, just because there's an odd dip there, or a peak at 2, and then a dip, and then back 10 plus, it peaks. And 1980s, 1990s, and then yellows 2000s. I'd be curious to see this. I think probably the end count on this one is pretty low, but let's see the next one. Oh, I think this is from the
Institute for Family Studies.
and so this is from the GSS and from 1986 to 2016. And the total end count is, it looks like about 12,000 people they surveyed, which is pretty good. And the microphone's muted, just saying. I'm just saying, it's still muted. Hello? Wait. Okay, so she grabbed the other microphone. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. So sexual history, marital satisfaction, the more partners you have, lower your marital satisfaction. Holy shit, they're really spamming refund. My bad. Her microphone's still muted, I think. So we're good? We're good? You know? Bad ZXE. DM me after the show if you want a refund. Okay, next one. Female promiscuity over time, partner count, and then this just shows, scroll down. I don't know the source on this, but why does this matter? Marriage stability, happiness, and STDs. Scroll down. What are the sources all the way at the bottom? Familystudies.org. Okay, I mean, we don't have those PDFs on hand, but it's an infographic, whether you want to believe it or not. I mean, you don't have to. I think you're still muted.
Yeah.
So, hold on. We'll let you come in, but you're muted. So we'll have. Did you have something you wanted to say on this pair bonding?
So I agree with your topic because I do feel like I've experienced it, but I'm really okay with the experiences I've had. I love sex and I can just enjoy sex as is because I'm not looking for a partner. But for someone who might be looking for a partner and they're continually having sexual experiences with different people that they might meet, it is going to be harder for you to bond with them over time because maybe you don't trust them because you're like, how many people have you slept with? Or, I haven't slept with that many, but you know what I mean? Your pairing is just very different. It's very hormonal and men or women are very different. So I feel like this is a real thing, and soul bonding, soul ties, if you're really trying to get connected to somebody, trying to have a relationship with somebody, having sex with multiple partners is definitely going to affect that. Like I said, I feel it. I connect very differently with people because maybe not because of the amount of people I've slept with, but because of how I view men.